My mother wraps me up in a blanket and holds me close to her chest. I'm only 3 weeks old as my parents, my older sister and I make our way to the airport to take the 12-hour flight back to the UK. We're relieved to leave this last year behind us. We were deported from South Africa. My mother, Greek Christian and white. My father, Kashmiri Muslim and brown. Dark-skinned people did not fare well in South Africa's apartheid. And living in a white area was illegal. Someone called immigration, and we were forced to leave. I'm 5 years old, and my mum is tucking me into bed when she says, "God is love. God is all around you, and God is you." As I'm playing with her hair, she tells me all about this God energy, that it's the greatest, most powerful, most loving energy there is, and that we come from it. She says, "Your heart is so big and so beautiful." My mum sees my bigness, my sensitivity, and my intensity as my magic. I love it and I feel so free. She says, with everything we do in life, God asks two things: that we have love and wisdom in our hearts. From here, we take action. I'm 31, and my husband and I are looking through menus outside a bistro in Paris, celebrating our 1-year wedding anniversary. In the distance, I hear faint screaming and crying. Now, I see hundreds of people running towards us. People are falling on the floor, glass is shattering, everyone's screaming. 2 days ago, there was a terrorist attack in Paris. In total, 416 people were injured, 130 people were killed. It looks like there's another attack, so we grab our things and run. After a few seconds, I see a side street, so I shout to my husband, "Down here!" We're staring at each other in disbelief when my inner voice says, "Get down, play dead." I scream to him, "Get down!" as I collapse on the cold Parisian pavement, lying still, very still. Closing my eyes, I begin to meditate. Breathing in, know that you're breathing in. Breathing out, know that you're breathing out. Everything around me becomes slow and quiet. A wave of calm washes over me, and I feel peaceful. If I'll go home and return to God. 20 seconds or so passes. I don't hear gunshots. I open my eyes. I look around. I don't see gunmen. I see my husband standing a few meters in front of me. I get up, I run to him, and we take shelter in a basement office for 2 hours. We later find out that Notre Dame Cathedral was having a mass to commemorate the people that were killed in the terrorist attack on Friday. Someone set off a firecracker. A firecracker sounds like gunshots. So thousands of people started running for their lives and ran straight onto the street that we were sitting on. So even though there was no real threat, in our minds, these last 2 hours were very real and changed the course of our lives forever. It's been 6 months since Paris, and things haven't been the same. With my relationship, with me, and with the way that I see and experience the world. Before Paris, I had been meditating for 4 years as a way to calm my overactive mind and to deal with periods of depression. Now, My meditation practice has become energetical, out of body, holy. I'm feeling energy shooting out of my hands, pouring into my head. My heart is expanding. The same can't be said for my husband. When I hit the ground that night, he thought I had been shot and killed. And in that moment, his long-term anxiety took over. He had a panic attack and he froze. He's been feeling guilty for not being able to save me. His guilt and his shame is newly shaping him in our relationship. He's harsh, he's unkind, and he's edgy. During one of our many arguments, he says to me, "Soraya, if you leave me, no one else will ever have you. You are unlovable. You're bipolar. You're mad. You're too much to handle. Only I can handle you." I freeze. My stomach's in knots. Tears are welling up. A hidden part of me feels that he's right, that he's speaking truth. I'm 14, and at this age, my bigness, my sensitivity, and my intensity does not feel like magic anymore. Every day for the last 4 years at school, I've been severely bullied by a boy called Leon. It's mainly emotional and mental abuse for me being chubby and ugly. On one occasion, he has got violent and hit me. On top of this, my dad tells me, "Don't wear gold jewelry, you'll look too Indian. Don't be so loud, don't draw attention to yourself. Cover up, be a good girl." Now, it's clear to see that his love for me was leading, and he was just trying to protect his little girl. But between his comments and the bullying, as a young woman, all I heard was, "It's not good to be you. You're too much. You're too intense." As I grow up, I learned to cover parts of myself to hide my too muchness. I do all the things that one does in Western society. I smoke cigarettes, I drink alcohol, I take recreational drugs. It seems like fun, but in reality, it's to numb the pain of me not being able to be me. I slowly forget about that young girl that knew she was God and had love and magic in her heart. But now, since Paris, everything is changing. I'm receiving divine insights. I'm connecting to something far greater than me. And I remember what my mum told me in my childhood bedroom all those years ago. I am God. But do I dare even think this? I'm 32. I leave the UK and everything I have ever known in search of my true self. For the next 7 years, I spend countless hours on the yoga mat. I participate in ayahuasca, Kambo, and Bufo ceremonies. I sit several 10-day Vipassana meditations. In a 1-year period, I spend 220 days on liquids and in a fasted state. And for 2 months, I look after the mother of Guru and hugging saint Amma. I do all of this to strip away any ideas, any opinions, and any beliefs I hold for me to connect to my true essence and to God. I'm 37. I'm sitting on the floor, about to experience my first 10-day Darkroom Retreat. Putu calls out and says, "Are you ready?" Tentatively, I say yes. She turns off the light and shuts the door. Pitch black. My heart starts to race. My palms become sweaty. My mind starts panicking and says, "You're going to die in here. You can't do this. Get out." Closing my eyes, I begin to meditate. Breathing in. Know that you're breathing in. Breathing out. Know that you're breathing out. A wave of calm washes over me as I surrender to the darkness of the room, to the darkness of my mind, and I return to the womb of creation. For the first 3 days, every single negative thought you can imagine comes back to me. You're too much. You're too loud. You're bipolar. You are unlovable. The physical pain is overwhelming. My teeth hurt. My ears hurt. Every muscle in my bone is aching and sore. I soon realize there's nowhere to hide in the dark. Closing my eyes, I continue to meditate. Breathing in. Know that you're breathing in. Breathing out. Know that you're breathing out. I start to bring awareness to all the negative thoughts, all the physical pain, and I begin to alchemize it all. As the days unfold, the beliefs begin to wash away. I start accessing that inner stillness, that inner silence. I feel like I'm dissolving into everything and nothing at the same time. I oscillate between laughing and crying. I feel like I'm levitating, like I'm being held in pure, divine love. I start accessing that profound state of oneness. I'm remembering this is the place that I was birthed from. This is the place that I can access at any moment. And this is the place I will eventually return to. Our brothers and sisters worked hard, but they loved their work. For Abdiel declared that each should perform the work of their heart. This is a verse taken from the Holy Megillah, an alternative to the Holy Bible. It presents Jesus as Middle Eastern and his beloved wife, Mary Magdalene, as Black. Our brothers and sisters worked hard, but they loved their work. For Abdiel declared that each should perform the work of their hearts. The work of my heart is God. My life's purpose is to embody the divine and to remind the rest of humanity of their own divinity. Knowing this, I bow deeply to myself as I actually am. As my mother once said, God asks just 2 things from us: to have love and wisdom in our heart. From here, we take action.